On news around the world, Minister of Finance rejects calls for details of $5 billion loan. Or your government applauds BCOS for promoting traditional religion. And on the foreign scene, 4 workers killed in train accident near Tokyo. Good evening, and thank you for joining us on News Around the World here on BCOS Television. I am Idowu Shekoni. A sign language interpreter is Shakirat Ogundeji. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Taiwo Oyedele, has rejected calls for the federal government to publish details of how it plans to spend funds drawn from its $5 billion financing facility with First Abu Dhabi Bank. Oyedele said the transaction had been subjected to unnecessary scrutiny, arguing that the facility was approved by the National Assembly and was structured to help the government refinance more expensive debt. He spoke during a media briefing in Abuja. The federal government recently drew about $1.5 billion, the first tranche of the $5 billion total return swap facility arranged with First Abu Dhabi Bank, despite concerns from the International Monetary Fund and Fitch Ratings over the transparency and risks associated with such financing structures. Responding to a question on the borrowing plan and whether details of the First Abu Dhabi Bank transaction would be made public, Oyedele said the government would publish information on how it spends public funds, but questioned why the particular facility was receiving special attention. Oyedele also dismissed suggestions that the transaction was conducted without due process, noting that it had been presented to the National Assembly. The minister said the government had assessed the transaction carefully and was accessing the funds in phases to avoid incurring unnecessary costs. He explained that the financing arrangement was different from Nigeria's traditional fixed-rate borrowing because the First Abu Dhabi Bank facility had a flexible interest rate. The federal government is required to pledge securities worth about 133% of the total amount drawn as collateral under the arrangement. The federal government has unveiled 11 major economic and financial reforms implemented between May 2023 and December 2025, saying they are aimed at addressing structural challenges and laying the foundation for sustainable economic growth. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Taiwo Oyedele, highlighted the reforms during a media briefing, saying they cover fiscal policy, taxation, foreign exchange, education, infrastructure, labor, energy, and capital markets. The government said the measures are designed to strengthen public finances, improve revenue mobilization, attract investment, support businesses, and enhance Nigeria's economic resilience. It stressed that the economic reform is a continuous process requiring difficult decisions, sustained commitment, and transparent reporting, adding that progress has been recorded, although significant work remains. The government said transparency and accountability remain central to the reform process, adding that an 11-day review of the reform scorecard will provide detailed information on the objectives, implementation, and impact of the 11 reforms. You're watching News Around the World on BCOS Television. We pause for a short commercial break. Please don't go away.
No. Yes, yeah.
Morning, everyone. Here's to a top day. Here's to living the creamy and delicious life.
We go dance until the morning light. Everything is feeling right tonight. Baby.
Have a top day with Top Cafe.
Win big in the Milo Text and Win promo. Yes, 6 brand new cars, along with billions in airtime and cash prizes are up for grabs. Just buy any 20-gram Milo promo sachet, find a unique code inside, then dial *8011 *4#. or scan the QR code on the pack for a chance to win big. Buy more, win more. Promo starts July 1st to October. Milo.
The home is under attack, but not for long, because Hypo is here. Dirty floors and surfaces.
Not on our watch.
Every day we Hypo.
Dirty and stains no fit do us shakara. We got the remedy, original palasa. Hypo, go Hypo.
Germs always find a way back.
No green. Protect every day with Hypo.
Every morning is a good time to show love in the way that matters. And showing love begins with breakfast, the first gift of the day to you and your loved ones. Not just any breakfast, but one made with peak milk because it contains vitamins, proteins, and calcium to keep you nourished and ready for the day. Breakfast is love. Show it every morning with the nourishing goodness of Peak evaporated milk.
Peak. Reach for your peak.
It's great to have you back. The Oyo State government has reaffirmed its commitment to the recognition, preservation, and promotion of indigenous religion and culture as the state marks the 2026 Isheshe Day with a colorful celebration at the Lekan Salami Sports Complex in Ibadan. The event, organized by the Oyo State government in collaboration with heads of traditional religion in the state, brought together traditional rulers, adherents, and cultural enthusiasts to celebrate Yoruba heritage and spirituality. Our man Adebayo Abdurrafi, who was at the indoor tennis court, Lekan Salami Stadium at Amasimba, Ibadan, venue of the event, also reports that the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State received accolades for its significant promotion of traditional religion and culture.
Drumming, dancing, traditional costumes, and prayers set the tone as adherents of traditional religion gathered at the Lekan Salami Sports Complex, Ibadan, to mark the 2026 Isheshe Day. In keeping with the commitment of consistently providing coverage for activities promoting indigenous religion and culture across Oyo State and beyond, the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, BCOS, provided live and direct coverage of the grand celebration, bringing the colorful proceedings to audiences across its platforms. For the organizers, such media visibility is crucial to ensuring that government recognition of traditional religion translates into greater public awareness and appreciation of Yoruba heritage. The celebration, organized by the Oyo State government in collaboration with heads of traditional religion, is the third edition since the state officially declared August 20 a work-free day for the observance of Isheshe Day. The declaration followed a commitment made by Governor Seyi Makinde during the 2023 electioneering campaign to recognize the rights of adherents of traditional faiths. Delivering the governor's message, the Deputy Chief of Staff, Honorable Kazeem Adeniyi Bibire, said the administration values the contributions of adherents of all faiths to the peaceful atmosphere in Oyo State. He stressed that for the state government, the policy is aimed at promoting peaceful coexistence among adherents of different faiths while preserving the cultural heritage of the Yoruba people.
The government appreciation. I encourage them to continue in the same manner and to make sure we continue living peacefully to achieve greater things in our country.
The State Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Dr. Wasiu Olatubosun, commended traditional worshippers for sustaining the celebration and acknowledged the role of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, BCOS, in promoting traditional religion and culture. He noted that the recognition of Isheshe Day was a response to long-standing demands by traditional worshippers and urged traditional rulers to incorporate Isheshe Day into their celebrations alongside other religious observances. He also highlighted the international recognition of Yoruba cultural festivals, including Sango and Egungun by UNESCO. In a keynote address titled Isheshe, Our Heritage, Our Identity, the Are Isheshe of Oyo State, Chief Omikunle Egbelade, stressed that Isheshe goes beyond festivals, drumming, dancing, traditional dressing, or visits to shrines. He described it as a way of life encompassing traditional understanding of spirituality, morality, family, community, nature, ancestors, and the relationship between humanity and the Creator.
Connected to our identity. They tell us where we are came from, and provide knowledge that guide how we are lived today. And many communities across the state have perceived important traditional and festival.
The Arabaulu Isheshe of Ibadan land, Chief Ifalere Odegbemi, earlier in his welcome remarks, expressed appreciation to Governor Seyi Makinde for recognizing the rights of adherents of traditional faiths. He described the policy as a significant step towards correcting what he called past injustices against traditional worshippers. The Bashigun of Ibadan land, Chief Wasiu Ojoawo Ikmariku, and Akoda Awo of Oluyole Ifarinu Odejimi were among traditional leaders who offered prayers for peace, progress, and development in Oyo State and Nigeria. The Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja Arusa I, was represented at the event by the Balogun of Ibadan land, Oba Tajuddin Ajibola. He joined other traditional rulers, including the Aseyin of Iseyin, Oba Shefiu Adeyemi Ajirotutu, the Eleruwa of Irua, Oba Samuel Adegbola, and the Olu of Igboora, Oba Jimoh Titiloye, at the celebration. Beyond the colorful displays and spiritual observances, the 2026 Isheshe Day celebration has once again provided a platform for the Oyo State government, traditional institutions, and adherents to reaffirm the importance of indigenous religion and culture. Adebayo Abdurrafi, BCOS News.
Still on Isheshe Day, as Yoruba communities mark Isheshe Day, attention is once again focused on the place of indigenous traditions in a society increasingly influenced by modern lifestyles and foreign cultures. While some traditional practices are fading, cultural custodians insist that preserving Yoruba heritage remains essential to maintaining identity and passing on values to younger generations. Folashade Akintola examines the challenge of balancing tradition with modernity.
For generations, Yoruba traditional practices have shaped family, community, and social life. From naming ceremonies, marriage, and festival to indigenous dressing, language, and rites of passage and respect for elders. These traditions have helped preserve identity and transmit cultural values. But with changing lifestyle and religious influence, many of these practices are gradually being interpreted or abandoned. Unlike some countries where indigenous traditions continue to thrive alongside modern lifestyle, some Nigerians appear increasingly detached from their cultural heritage. For cultural custodian, however, Isheshe represents more than religious worship. The Are Isheshe of Oyo State, Chief Omikunle Egbelade, described it as an integral part of Yoruba identity, encompassing traditional beliefs about creation, ancestry, and human existence. He also explained that cultural practice associated with naming ceremony, including the use of honey and kola nut, remain part of Yoruba heritage and can coexist with Christianity and Islam.
Your traditional name is there, which you were born with your ancestors, like Adiola, Ola Seni, Ola Fuwoka. Those are what we are given, that our forefathers are given in the olden days.
Chief Ifalere Ifagbenro also said the adoption of Christianity and Islam should not mean abandoning indigenous culture. The special advisor to the Oyo State Governor on Culture, Basharon Gboyega, advocates greater appreciation of Yoruba language, dressing, food, and other cultural practices, particularly among young people. He urged parents to take responsibility for passing these values to their children.
That material they use for the naming ceremony is a prayer, deep prayer. Deep, because when they use Adun, they use Omi, Atare, Orobo, and Ereke. All these things have good names. Sand. So they use that name to pray for the newborn baby. And that one, from that day, the prayer will be following that small girl or a boy the day of his or her life.
Isheshe is a Christianity, is a son of Isheshe. Islam is a son of Isheshe, because both of Christian and Muslim is a borrowed religion. Come here to worship. And then our forefather at Isheshe get good manner to accept both religions, Christian and Muslim.
The stakeholders also raised concern over the growing lack of understanding of secret traditional practice, citing the recent filming of the Ololu masquerade. Chief Egbelade stressed that some traditional institutions have restrictions and taboos that must be respected, urging the public to seek proper knowledge before recording or interfering with secret practice. The stakeholders maintain that embracing modernity does not require abandoning indigenous identity. They therefore call for stronger cultural education involving parents, schools, government, and traditional institutions. For them, preserving Yoruba culture is not a rejection of modernity, but a way of ensuring its values, identity, and heritage enduring for generations to come. Folashade Akintola, BCOS News.
We have another timeout. Please stay tuned.
My skin is my identity, my strength. It's unique and deserves care made specially for me. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Advanced Care with 5 oils and 5 vitamins. 48-hour nourishment. Helps reduce appearance of stretch marks in just 2 weeks. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Advanced Care for your shade of beautiful.
The home is under attack, but not for long, because Hypo is here. Dirty floors and surfaces.
Not on our watch.
We got the remedy, original palasa. Hypo, go hypo.
Germs always find a way back.
No greed. Protect every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go hypo.
The right ingredients, the right balance, and every soft life isn't luck. It's a recipe. The right ingredients, the right balance, and everything just works. That's what soft life truly is. Choosing what's already made right for you. Hair growth, itchy scalp relief, dandruff control, anti-breakage. Every jar made to give your hair exactly what it needs. No stress, no guessing, just soft, easy hair every day. So yes, be a chef. And when you get it right, it's effortless. Lush hair, live the soft life.
Welcome back. The Kano State Private Health Institutions Management Agency, FEMA, has shut down 37 private healthcare facilities in the state over various regulatory violations in the past 18 months. The Acting Director General of FEMA, Hajia Khadija Saeed, said 16 facilities were closed in 2025, while another 21 were shut down between January and July 2026 for failing to comply with government regulations. She said more than 1,405 private health facilities are currently registered with the agency, which is responsible for regulating and supervising healthcare services provided by private institutions. Hajia Khadija explained that FEMA monitors the facilities through routine and supportive supervision involving medical personnel, lawyers, government officials, security agencies, and community leaders. She said the registered facilities include clinics, polytechnics, general and specialist hospitals, nursing homes, clinic and maternity centers, and maternity hospitals, each with a clearly defined scope of services. The acting Director General warned that it is unlawful for a clinic to provide services designated for a polyclinic or hospital, stressing that facilities violating government regulations would be sanctioned or shut down. The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, has sealed a suspected facility in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, and arrested 3 people over an alleged 13.5 million naira baby sale involving a Liberian national residing in Belgium. The suspects include the owner of the facility, an alleged facilitator of the baby sale, and a member of staff, with the facility allegedly operating from a residential apartment in the Elelewon area of Port Harcourt. NAPTIP said the operation was carried out by its Abuja and Rivers State operatives in collaboration with the Rivers State Ministry of Health, following intelligence on a suspected child trafficking syndicate involved in the procurement and sale of children. The agency said preliminary investigations showed that the Liberian national arrived in Nigeria without evidence of pregnancy, but allegedly took custody of 3 children within 1 month, with about 13.5 million naira reportedly changing hands. NAPTIP said the facility was sealed to preserve potential evidence as investigations continue to trace the financial transactions and determine the roles of medical personnel and others allegedly involved in the suspected criminal activity. The National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA, has warned that misinformation, stigma, and sensational reporting could undermine Nigeria's efforts to prevent new HIV infections, urging journalists and social media influencers to provide accurate information. The Director General of NACA, Dr. Temitope Lori, gave the warning today in Lagos at a national training for journalists and social media influencers on HIV pre-exposure prophylaxis, PrEP, organized in collaboration with the World Health Organization, WHO. Ilori said PrEP is an effective HIV prevention option for people who are HIV negative and may be at risk of acquiring the virus, adding that its impact depends on public awareness, correct understanding, accessibility, and willingness to use it. She described the media and digital platforms as critical partners in the HIV response, urging them to humanize HIV prevention, challenge misconceptions, and avoid content that creates fear, reinforces stigma, or discourages people from accessing services. Ilori said the training should mark the beginning of a stronger partnership between NACA, the media, and digital community as Nigeria strengthens its HIV prevention strategy under the National Strategic Plan for HIV and AIDS 2026 to 2030. You're still watching News Around the World on BCOS television. We have another commercial break. Please don't go anywhere.
Our bodies get serums, washes, lotions, cleansers, scrubs, but underarms only get deodorant? That's why our new breakthrough formula contains pure hyaluron and vitamin C to deeply care for your underarms for a softer and even skin tone in 2 weeks. With 72-hour sweat and odor protection, try the new Nivea Derma Control Natural Tone, because your underarms deserve more. Nivea is for skin.
This award goes to the most punctual student of the entire school. And the winner is Lisa Solomon.
Something is telling me that she makes her daughter skip breakfast just to be here. You people could have just asked. I would have been happy to tell you my secret.
Enjoy instant goodness with John Vent's 3-in-1 chocolate. The quickest start to your morning.
Alright everyone, no put your ears, make we talk. Time don't reach to rearrange his house to give us small wisdom. Shout my teeth fresh now, but you know, I beg no be so. Before I go talk, say our smile no reach. Make that Since come twice so. Ever heard of Colgate, the #1 oil care brand in the world?
Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection promotes 24 hours cavity defense. The formula boost with calcium for lifelong smiles.
Mom, it's a time to brush. No more for my cover mouth.
Colgate for 24 hours maximum cavity protection.
Glad to know you're still there. Humanitarian action remains vital in supporting people affected by crisis, displacement, poverty, and other difficult circumstances. As the world marks World Humanitarian Day, attention is drawn to the sacrifices of humanitarian workers, volunteers, and organizations providing assistance to vulnerable communities. In this report, Oyeshile Oloyede examines the impact of humanitarian intervention and the need to ensure that assistance responds to actual needs of affected communities.
Humanitarian assistance takes various forms, including the provision of food, water, health care, relief materials, and other essential service to people affected by emergencies. For humanitarian organizations and volunteers, the priority is to protect lives and support people who are displaced, vulnerable, or affected by crises. Speaking with BCOS News, the national president of the Nigerian Red Cross Society, Prince Oluyemisi Adiaga, said humanitarianism places the value of human life above ethnicity, religion, and nationality. He noted that World Humanitarian Day provides an opportunity to honor those who lost their lives in the service of humanity and promote greater respect for humanitarian work. Prince Adiaga identified funding, access, and security as some of the major challenges confronting humanitarian operations, while calling for stronger community preparedness and greater public support through donations.
We can donate funds to Nigerian Red Cross Society, and it doesn't need to be much. Maybe 1,000 naira per person per annum is good enough. And you don't know to which extent this can go. And there are people, even as of today, that ordinary 500 naira, let's call it ordinary, is very, very important too. And all they need to survive is that money. All they need to be alive is that money. But you cannot get them. We have their database, we can reach them, and we have people that can reach the very hard to reach areas who are volunteers. So we can be vehicle of reach. We can be vehicle of implementing such relief programs to people that are in disaster-prone areas or disaster-infected areas.
For humanitarian advocate Emo Ogoke Imonena Sholoton, the day provides an opportunity to appreciate the contributions of humanitarian workers to improving lives and strengthening communities. She emphasized the importance of identifying the actual needs of beneficiaries before providing assistance, noting that humanitarian organizations are increasingly adopting need-based interventions to achieve greater impact.
The world a better place, the contributions that humanitarians make to help our communities to be better, to impact lives, and to do great things in our society. So it is very important that we recognize this day because it gives us an opportunity to even do more. It gives us an opportunity to call the attention of people to the good work that humanitarians do all over the world. It's an opportunity for us to also appreciate these milestone achievements by humanitarians and philanthropists all over the world.
After speaking, Rotarian Adiola Adejure said humanitarian organizations and volunteers played a critical role in responding to crises by providing food, water, relief materials, and other essential support to displaced and affected persons. She called for stronger collaboration between government and humanitarian organizations by encouraging individuals to support vulnerable people within their communities in whatever way they can.
Humanitarian does not stop at charity. Okay, you have 100 naira, and the 100 naira is enough for you and your family, and you can still spare 10 naira. It is always advisable to spare the 10 naira to someone that does not even have at all. We should be able to do humanitarian service to everybody around us.
As the world celebrates humanitarian workers and volunteers, stakeholders stress that effective humanitarian action goes beyond providing relief. They said it requires compassion, collaboration, adequate funding, and most importantly, a clear understanding of the needs of affected communities. Oyeshile Oloyede, BCOS News.
Poverty and limited access citizens have to elected officials have been identified as factors sustaining vote buying during elections in Nigeria. A former chairman of the Oyo State Universal Basic Education Board, Professor Soji Adejumo, made the observation while featuring on BCOS Television's Guest of the Month. He also called for a stronger relationship between elected representatives and the people who voted them into office. Our man Adebayo Abdurrafi reports.
Vote buying has remained a major concern in Nigeria's electoral process, with voters often receiving money and other incentives in exchange for their support. Professor Soji Adejumo believes the problem cannot be tackled effectively without addressing the poverty that makes such financial inducements attractive to many citizens.
Then it escalated to Dibo Kosebe. Now they said it Dibo Korale. We cannot, in the immediate future, eradicate that because of the poverty. We want to be realistic. There is poverty in the land, and even people who are already committed to their candidate, they will still expect money from that candidate.
He argues that some voters see election periods as one of the few opportunities to receive direct financial benefits from politicians, particularly because access to elected officials often becomes difficult after they assume office. According to him, improving citizens' access to the dividends of democracy could gradually reduce the attraction of vote buying.
We need to also sensitize political office holders that many people don't know this, that when you elect somebody, even as a councillor, you are the one giving the job, you are employing him. Your vote is part of his employment process.
Professor Adejumo also urged political office holders to understand that elections create a relationship of accountability between them and the electorate. He described citizens as the employers of elected representatives whose mandate comes through the votes of the people.
And you should be seen in that spirit. And that is why we still have corruption. This mindset that, once the politician is there, it is removed from his immediate environment. He has acquired another level of existence. It shouldn't be.
He said elected officials should therefore remain accessible to their constituents and ensure that the benefits of governance are visible at the grassroots. Professor Adejumo illustrated the point with an experience from Israel, where he recalled encountering a senior government official who interacted with people without the elaborate security and protocol arrangements often associated with political office holders in Nigeria.
We made some trip to Israel, and the man that was going around with us, he was even the one who handled the processing of our passports, at the airport, to make sure that, we got everything free. And he was going around, his canvas and coming around, are you okay? Things like that. He was a minister. In his country, he was a minister. And that person was Benjamin Netanyahu, who is currently now a prime minister. of his own country in Israel.
For Professor Adejumo, strengthening accountability, improving citizens' welfare, and making the dividends of democracy more visible could help rebuild public confidence in the electoral process and gradually weaken the culture of vote buying. Adebayo Abdurrafi, BCOS News.
We have yet another timeout. When we return, over time for the sports segment of the news. Please stay with us.
Soft life isn't luck. It's a recipe. The right ingredients, the right balance, and everything just works. That's what soft life truly is. Choosing what's already made right for you. Hair growth, itchy scalp relief, dandruff control, anti-breakage. Every jar made to give your hair exactly what it needs. No stress, no guessing, just soft, easy hair every day. So yes, be a chef. And when you get it right, it's effortless. Lush hair, live the soft life.
Separately on money points.
You say you save on money points?
Yes.
This madam money points here, the array of your dear. It's your 100% in my year.
Babes, are you sure you want to spend this much on hair? Since your landlord just increased rent, I save for this one separately on money points.
You say you save on money points?
Yes.
This madam money points here, the array of your dear is starting savings money points I used to have it. The rest of this my sub is this savings money points I used to do it. The salary of this my staff is save as you transact.
Jennifer, money point save as you transact. Money point fixed savings and money point target savings.
What's up? I can't tell what contribute to you. What she say? Come on, oh, you go give your money to Hadaku to save. You see money point accounts there. You don't go open a savings account. Now Hadaku you shoot. I beg everybody inside this my saloon. Oh, you bring out your phone and download the money point app now. Even you. What are you waiting for?
Download the Money Point banking app now. That's something the bank you can trust.
Money Point, made for your progress.
Good evening and welcome to the sports segment of the news where we bring you all the news making rounds in the world of sport. I am Oluwatu Yinka. A star with athletics as world record holder Tobi Amusan has been confirmed for the London and New York legs of the all-female track meet Athlos, built for September and October. Athlos is a professional female-only track and field meeting series that was first held at Icahn Stadium in New York City on September 26, 2024. The all-female track meet Athlos will be held to London for the first time in 2026 as it expands to a two-day event, and its founder hopes the competition can become the Formula One of track and field. Created by Alexis Ohanian, husband of tennis three-time Grand Slam singles champion Serena Williams, Athlos will also be held in New York for a third consecutive year. The London meet will take place at the StoneX Stadium on September 18 before the New York edition on October 2. American stars Sha'Carri Richardson, Gabby Thomas, Tara Woodall-Davis, Maridli Palino have been confirmed for the event. Now to football. Getafe midfielder Christos Uche has undergone surgery following a serious knee injury sustained during a preseason friendly in Monaco earlier this month. He shared a picture of himself after the procedure on Wednesday as he began his rehabilitation following the injury. The 23-year-old sustained the injury August 6 after a tackle from Monaco defender Christian Awissa during the friendly. Subsequent medical scans revealed that Uche had suffered multiple ligament and meniscus tears in his right knee, with the severity of the injury requiring surgery and ruling him out for the remainder of the season. Confirming that the operation had gone successfully, he thanked the medical team, his representatives, and those who had supported him since the injury. Uche spent last season on loan at Crystal Palace, where he struggled for regular playing time, making 22 appearances and playing a total of 477 minutes. Crystal Palace had the option to make his move permanent but opted not to trigger the release, leading to his return to Getafe. However, the new injury has now ruled Uche out for the rest of the season as he begins a lengthy rehabilitation program. Finally, from football, Paris Saint-Germain were originally due to host Rennes at the Parc des Princes on Sunday, although the date and time of the match has not been changed. As a result of the switch, PSG will now host Rennes on the weekend of March 6. And that'll be all for tonight. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for all the sports stories, Yinka. On the foreign scene, 4 workers have been killed after being struck by a train at Shinkanuma Station, north of Tokyo, Japan. The incident occurred while the workers were reportedly spraying herbicide along the railway line, prompting authorities to suspend train services and launch an investigation into the cause of the accident. Foreign desk editor Folashade Akintola compiled the story and others, now presented by Khadija Lawal.
The collision happened around 10:46 local time today, while the workers were spraying herbicide, said Tobu Railway, the operator of the line. Police are investigating if safety guidelines were followed when the accident happened, and train service was suspended on Tobu Nikko line due to the accident, Tobu Railway officials told a press conference. A passenger on the train told Japanese public broadcaster that they heard a strange noise before the train made an emergency stop. He said passengers were stuck on the train for a while as staff announced that they were investigating the noise. Fatal train accidents are rare in Japan, which relies on a sprawling railway network. The train involved in today's incident was a limited express train, according to NHK. These are the second fastest trains in Japan after the Shinkansen or the bullet train. The fatalities, who were in their 50s and 60s, were among a team of 10 working at the site today, railway officials said. The team also included a supervisor and 3 lookouts tasked with alerting workers to incoming trains. Meanwhile, the body of a woman has been found in Australian bushland following an 8-day search for a Sydney teenager reported missing last Wednesday. Police said that while the body was yet to be formally identified, it was believed to be that of 18-year-old Lily Hooper. The confirmation came after the state's premier told the New South Wales Parliament that she had been found alive before later retracting the statements. The teenager left her home in Sydney to go walking in a nearby national park on August 12. Her family reported her missing later that night after she failed to return home by 10 o'clock. Her car was found in a car park at the bottom of a challenging trail in the Netai National Park. Police said that the body was found in the Southern Islands at approximately 11:30 local time today. Hooper's body had been found in dense vegetation and would likely have to be carried out on foot. There was initial confusion as to Hooper's condition after New South Wales Premier Chris Minns told the parliamentary hearing that she had been found alive. Local media suggested that her family had also been informed that she was alive. Minns corrected himself shortly afterwards and told the hearing that Lily's body had been found and she was deceased. And lastly, at least 15 people have been killed in the latest Russian strikes targeting the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv's mayor said, as Ukraine continues to face a shortage of air defense missiles. Apartments, blocks, and warehouses were struck across the city overnight, the State Emergency Service of Ukraine said, while a children's hospital and school were also damaged. The deaths were a result of a shortage of air defense missiles, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said, which Kyiv relies on Western allies to supply. Speaking to the press at a wrecked apartment block in Kyiv, Mayor Vitaly Klitschko said Ukraine needed ammunition, anti-missile systems, and needs support from their partners. Klitschko was in Solomiansky district to assess the damage. Around him, emergency workers continued to sift through rubble and people stood outside their destroyed homes. Among them was Valeria Bondaru, who moved to Kyiv after her home in southern Ukraine was bombed, believing it would be safer for her and her daughter. Now she has been driven from her home for the second time during this war. Khadija Lawal, BCOS News.
To end news around the world, here again are the top stories. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Taiwo Oyedele, has rejected calls for the federal government to publish details of how it plans to spend funds drawn from its $5 billion financing facility with First Abu Dhabi Bank. The Oyo State government has reaffirmed its commitment to the recognition, preservation, and promotion of indigenous religion and culture as the state marks the 2026 Isheshe Day with a colorful celebration at the Lake Salami Sports Complex in Ibadan. On the foreign scene, 4 workers have been killed after being struck by a train at Shinkanuma Station north of Tokyo, Japan. BCOS TV is now on Niger TV app, and you can watch us from any part of the world. You can also watch the BCOS website live. Kindly visit www.bcostv.com. Alternatively, you can watch us on GoTV channel 134 and on StarTimes channel 113. Now, before I go, if you see something suspicious, alert the authorities for timely response. Be vigilant. That's news around the world from me and the team here. Many thanks for watching.